What is up, YouTube? Welcome to PanFro Games. Today's video, we're going to be talking about the upcoming Nintendo Direct that is happening tomorrow at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern. And this is going to be the last big Direct focused on the Nintendo Switch. I got some predictions, we got some leaks, we're going to cover it all here. And of course, guys, if you like my type of content, enjoy these videos, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it. Consider supporting the channel by joining the Pan Fam by hitting that join channel member button below. So, as you can see the tweet here, the Nintendo Direct is going to be focusing on Nintendo Switch games releasing in the second half of 2024. We're halfway done with the year, but we don't know anything about the Switch's holiday lineup. And this is going to be the last lineup for the Nintendo Switch, as the Switch successor will be releasing sometime next year. And they also mentioned there will be no information on the Switch's successor at this event. So don't expect like Switch 2 only games or anything like that. I can definitely expect these games that we're going to see are going to be ported to the Switch 2, or at least be able to be read by the Switch 2 console. But don't expect anything that crazy. It's all about the games. And we got 40 minutes of games to talk about here. And a lot of it is definitely going to be third-party support. I mean, we saw Summer Games Fest. We saw all the big third-party publishers put out titles. So I think there's going to be a lot of repeats of games that we've already seen previously. But what are we going to see for that Nintendo first party? That is where the magic happens. And I'm not entirely sure, but we do have some information about a few things that we might be seeing in general. Number one, this was retweeted by Pyro. If you don't know who Pyro is, he is the number one Nintendo leaker at the moment. And he retweeted this tweet. And the translation on it says, on Weibo, a Chinese account named Shubo, which is the most followed there for Nintendo news, appears to be hinting at the appearance of a new Ace Attorney, or at least Ace Attorney in general. So this is the actual post on Chinese social media, Weibo. So we might be getting a new Ace Attorney game from Capcom for the Nintendo Switch. They did just release a collection recently, and that would be the second Ace Attorney collection. So it could be another set of games that we haven't received in the West, or at least not in like an updated version of some games. But let's hope it is a new Ace Attorney game, because I know how many people love that series. So that would be pretty cool. Now, this is actually a funny leak right here that occurred. This Among Us update was originally supposed to be revealed on the 18th, but it leaked on their YouTube and blog post account. So we know Among Us is happening at the Nintendo Direct. And if you wanted to know what it is, there's gonna be a new crewmate role. There is gonna be another crewmate role, and then a new imposter role. So they're showing up a huge update for Among Us. So if you're playing Among Us still, this is a massive update that's coming. I was not able to view the trailer before it was taken down, so there is still a nice surprise in that. But that's really cool. Now, another third-party thing that got leaked was Beyond Good and Evil 20th Anniversary Edition should probably be shadow dropping on the Nintendo Direct. Now, this is the PlayStation trophies that leaked. There was a bunch of leaks on the PSN backend, but it wouldn't make sense for this to be a PlayStation exclusive. And of course, it wasn't mentioned at all during Summer Games Fest. So there is a very strong chance that we see Beyond Good and Evil 20th Anniversary Edition getting shadow dropped at the Nintendo Direct, but of course it'll release on PC, on PlayStation, on Xbox. So that is what I got for third party. Now for the super interesting stuff, what are we going to see in that first party? What is the second half of Nintendo's first party releases for the last year of the Nintendo Switch? And I think the big one is going to be a Wind Waker and Twilight Princess re-release. I think we're gonna finally get these. Now, this is a long rumor that these two games have been ready for release on the Switch console for years. I think these rumors go all the way back to 2021 or 2022. And I definitely believe it, because Nintendo is known to finish games super early and then just not release them until there is a gap in their release schedule. This is why Nintendo has such great release schedules, because they can just fill it in with certain games they're just holding on as an emergency, which is awesome, right? We actually saw this very recently with the Paper Mario Thousand Year Door remake. That game was done in 2023, like summer of 2023. That game was ready for release, and they held onto it until this May. So it's not a big surprise to see Nintendo do something like this, and I can totally see them, you know, put this out towards the end of the year, like do like an October or November release. I mean, these are some two beloved Zelda games, so it definitely makes sense for a big release. I know a lot of people will definitely pick these up. Personally, I'm very excited to go through Wind Waker, as I love the art style of that game. Now, another thing is, I think we're going to see the swan song of a lot of different Nintendo Switch games, right? And obviously, I cover a lot of Pokemon on this channel, so I do think we are going to be seeing some sort of Pokemon 7-star legendary raid. Because, you know, we didn't get an announcement this past Sunday. We usually get announcements on Sunday. But the reason why we probably didn't get an announcement this past Sunday is because we have this Nintendo Direct coming tomorrow. And why would they, you know, waste their big announcement when they can do a really cool video showcasing some sort of awesome 7-star raid event for a new legendary Pokemon, and maybe make it a whole month-long event like they did with Mewtwo and Mew, where, you know, you get the free Mew from like the mystery gift code, and then they had like a month-long event of raids to get you ready to defeat the 7-star Mewtwo. And that was honestly the most fun piece of content we saw in Scarlet and Violet outside of just the DLC story stuff. So I would hope they would do this. And this happened in 2023, so I would hope one more 7-star raid of a legendary in 2024. And I think now is the time to announce it, especially during the summer when kids are out. It just makes a lot of sense to have something like this occur. Now, the big thing in the room, the elephant in the room, is obviously Metroid Prime 4. Now, Metroid Prime 4 is a meme at this point, because considering it was announced pretty much when the Switch like released, right? It was pretty much at the very beginning of the Switch's lifetime, and we haven't seen anything, right? We know it went through development hell. We know they scrapped the entire game and then restarted the game, but we don't really know anything about Metroid Prime 4. We haven't seen any actual gameplay. We don't know how it looks, how it plays, or anything like that. And hopefully they hold up to their promise that this game is going to release for Nintendo Switch. Now, I do think it will, because last year we did get Metroid Prime Remaster for the Switch. Now, the other big thing is, well, a lot of people did not play Metroid Prime 2 and 3, right? Those games are locked to like GameCube, Wii at this point. It's going to be really hard for those people to play those games. I mean, personally, I haven't played 2 or 3, right? So what I'm hoping for is we get a 2 and 3 remastered collection, similar to how we got Metroid Prime 1. That would be very ideal. And I can totally see them announcing this like a shadow drop, or like a week or 2 weeks after. Very similar to what they did to Metroid Prime. They announced it and they're like, hey, you can pre-order it like right now, and it literally comes out in like 2-3 weeks if you want a physical copy, or you can just download them digitally today. And I'm expecting we're going to see something very similar for a Metroid Prime 2 and 3 remaster, which will lead into a holiday release in October, November, maybe even December release of Metroid Prime 4. And this will cap off the Nintendo Switch's year as their big blockbuster title. I can't really think of another big blockbuster title that they would have ready to go for the end of this year, especially because a lot of the other developers under Nintendo, or who work with Nintendo, are really focusing on this Switch 2 lineup, which we know was not ready for release this year, which is why they took the whole extra year off to work on more games for the Switch 2's launch. But let me know in the comment section below what you think we are going to see at tomorrow's Nintendo Direct. I will say this, I think it's going to be pretty solid, but definitely expect a lot of third-party content. I expect a lot of indie devs out there too, and I would not expect too much on the first-party side, but I definitely think Metroid is going to be their big title, and hopefully we get those Zelda remasters. Of course, I will be doing a live reaction tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern to this Nintendo Direct, so if you want to watch with me, feel free to join. I really appreciate it. Of course, guys, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. Appreciate that as well. I'm going to catch you guys next time. Peace out and have a good one.